Here we are with creatine, which comes as a powder. And most products go through an evolutionary cycle before they reach their market saturation for that particular stage of the product development. And an easy way to think about something we all know about, probably, maybe that's a completely irrelevant thing, but which is probiotics. Okay, probiotics, we've all seen probiotics, they're freaking everywhere. But they went through their own evolutionary cycle. And once you understand that evolutionary cycle, you can map that evolutionary cycle onto heaps of other products and it stays the same. And that gives you an insight into where things are going to go next. So let's map out probiotics. So probiotics created found in a laboratory and then commercialized for scientific use. Okay, so it starts off, nobody gets access to this shit except for some scientists who are going to use it to do some cool shit with. Okay, and then from there, entrepreneurs get involved and they look to commercialize it for consumer use. Okay, how does that happen? Well, in that particular product, it starts out as a liquid that needs to be refrigerated. Okay, and I'm just going to talk about the way that it gets into the body because that's in and of itself interesting. There's other ways to think about it, but that's what we're going to focus on right now, only because of creatine and the way that creatine is going to develop. So it's a liquid that must be refrigerated at a certain temperature to maintain the probiotic strains so they don't die. Okay, so pretty volatile as a liquid, only available still to a very, very select group of people. Okay. Next iteration, they stabilize the liquid and now it can be transported in liquid form as long as refrigerated and put into shelves and things like that. Okay. Next iteration is it becomes much more stable, becomes much more widespread, and now it's available to a lot more people. And that's when people like Yakult, for instance, gets involved, okay? Becomes what's called shelf stable, meaning it doesn't need to be refrigerated. It can sit on the shelf and therefore access goes much, much broader. And also the way it gets out into number of shops also massively improves. Okay, so shelf stable, next phase of that particular evolution. Next phase is then they look at that and say, well, how else can we then get that product into humans? How else can we do that? And typically the next phase of that is powder. So then they dry it and they powderize it, and you kind of just get it in like a jar with a teaspoon and you shove it in your mouth or whatever you want to do. It's powderized, okay? And we saw that with probiotics. After that, there comes convenience. So now, well, I don't want a big jar of shit that I've got to keep on my shelf, and I don't want to just have to do it myself. I just want it all done for me. So that's when we get what's called encapsulation. So they put it into the little capsules, and you would have seen that, probiotic capsules, absolutely everywhere. That's another phase that these products go through, okay? Think about this now. Start thinking about creatine and where creatine's going and where creatine's at, okay? So, encapsulation. Now it's in capsules, it's on the shelves, it's sold in chemists, it's freaking everywhere. Next, we start looking at marketing for the product and we look at differentiation of the product. Okay, well, how does that work for probiotics? Typically, the first phase of differentiation is men, women. Probiotics for men, probiotics for women. Okay, they split that out. And then it's if you're a man, well, you can't take the woman's probiotics. No, you got to take the man's probiotics. Okay, differentiation goes through that. That market becomes saturated with products. Marketers get involved again. Next phase of differentiation. Well, if you are a woman over 60, then you need this probiotic strain formula. Okay. If you are a woman who is trying to get pregnant, if you are a woman who is pregnant, if you are a busy woman, next strain. Okay. So all those differentiations happen. Then we get, okay, well, now we've exhausted men and we've exhausted women. What's next? Kids. Let's go after the kids market. So now it's probiotics for kids, but kids don't like taking capsules. So what do we give them instead? Gummies. So probiotic gummies were everywhere. It went absolutely insane. They were all over the place. And marketers persuaded people or parents or mums specifically that their kids needed these gummies. Okay. So now kids, and now we've got kids. Great. New target market. Now we can start that process again. Well, if you've got a boy, then your boy needs these. If you've got a girl, then your girl needs these. We can go through that phase again. Okay. Okay. That's exhausted. Now we're still on kids. What else can we do with kids? Okay. Well, there's some loose-ish evidence to suggest that gut health is massively important for some medical conditions. So then we've got probiotics for irritable bowel syndrome. We've got probiotics for autism, because there's been a link between leaky gut syndrome and autism. So that's been linked. So now we can do a probiotic for that. And so it goes into the next level of sophistication. Okay. Filter, 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 filter. Well, then we have exhausted all of the kid related things. And we've exhausted all of the parent related things. How the hell are we going to sell this product? What's next? After we do humans, what comes next? Pets, perfect, which is kind of where I got involved. Probiotics for dogs. Awesome. Most people don't realize that probiotics were being given to animals way before then, to horses, to cows. It was farm feed for a long, long time. Okay. But anyway, so probiotics for dogs, that was a thing. And that went into that. And so all pets got catered for. And then marketers got involved again. How the hell are we going to sell these probiotics? We've done humans ingesting this stuff. We've done kids ingesting this stuff. We've done dogs ingesting this stuff. We've done cats. We've done everything like that. Everybody's ingesting bloody probiotics. What else are we going to do with it, Mr. and Mrs. Marketer? What comes after that? Where's the next one for that? Where else do we see probiotics is the question I'm asking you. Okay, so within skincare, go look. There's now probiotics in skincare, what you put onto your face, because you've got a gut microbiome. You've also got skin microbiome, okay? So now we're going, okay, well, let's go after that. So now there's probiotic shampoo, probiotics in skincare products. That's all coming to market. Probiotics for things like athlete's foot. That will be next. That's where that will go. It will go onto skin, and people will start buying skincare products because marketers will tell them all about the microbiome that's on the skin, and everybody will do exactly the same thing. When they realize they've got a microbiome in the gut, they'll want to optimize it. They'll want it personalized for them, though, for their particular skin. So then we've got probiotics for acne, probiotics for dry skin. We've got all of those skin conditions that can now be targeted, okay? And on and on and on and on. This is where we're at with creatine. We are at the gummies phase of that. So all those other things, all that other stuff that came after gummies is on the table, Question for you, interesting one. What is creatine used for? What's it used for? Muscle. Another question. What people are most prone to losing muscle? Aging. It's huge. And muscle loss, muscle atrophy as you age is a massive, massive problem. Massive problem. Go look for and see what you can find related to a creatine product that's been positioned and targeted specifically for aging people. See what you can find. Go take a look at it. Go and have a look. You'll find right now it's pretty friggin', it's a bit of a wasteland. There's a couple of people out there doing it, but they're doing a shit job of it. And right now, that's an interesting market. Anyway, it's actually, I looked earlier, muscle loss is the number one auto suggest that comes up on Google, which means it's the most searched term. That's what that means. Number two, legs and buttocks. That's an interesting one, but that market's already being served. But muscle loss with age, that is number one. That's number one. Okay. Interesting. Muscle loss after 50. Muscle loss with eight, like muscle, that's the top three. There's three in the top 10, all in that niche. Very freaking interesting. All products do. Okay. I've looked at creatine, but what I've just described to you, all products go through that process. And if you understand it, you can say what's coming next is probably going to be this, and you can get into the market ready. That was a video from my regular Monday night Q&A session with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. We are a community of over 2,500 people and growing. We're the fastest growing community of e-commerce entrepreneurs right now, with sales, by the way, of over $50 million. If you would like to find out more about what we do and also come and join us, get yourself off to www.aussieontrepreneurs.com.au. The link for that is in the description, and I will see you on the next video. Until then, bye for now.